Welcome to the Blairstown Township Committee meeting for October 22nd, 2025. Can we have an opening roll call, please, Kristen?
Mrs. Lance? Here. Mr. Lohman?
I'm here.
Mr. Sook?
Yes, sir. I am.
Deputy Mayor Van Valkenburg?
Here.
Mayor Moorhead?
Here. Would you please rise to salute the flag? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, setting forth the time, date, place, and purpose of this public meeting through a legal notice published in the New Jersey Herald and/or the express times following the Township's annual reorganization meeting at which the 2025 meeting schedule was adopted. Good evening, all. We're not serving refreshments tonight. I know it's usually no refreshments. Unless Walter brought some Werthers or something. Okay. First item on our agenda tonight, the North Warren Garden Club, a proposal for our municipal garden out in front of our building. Come on up. Let's talk.
Come on down.
How are you?
I am fine, thank you. My name is Michelle St. Andre, and I represent the North Warren Garden Club. And just earlier, Kristen put a little packet of information there for you. So what the project entails is redoing we call it the Triangle Garden, right at the entranceway of the municipal building, right off of Route 94. It's been there for many years, and after at least 2 years of drought, it's just not manageable anymore. Most of the shrubs are overgrown. They need too much work to revitalize them. So the Garden Club really did a lot of analysis out there, and we decided that the best thing to do is completely renovate the whole garden. The vision is to replace everything, put a center tree in, a very small, actually it's a flowering shrub, and just a few small shrubs and a few perennials, and that way, coming into the municipal building, coming past it on Route 94, it will have a nice, clean, managed look. That was one of our biggest priorities. And the other priority, it will be much less maintenance, because between the Garden Club and DPW and the drought, it's very difficult to maintain it the last couple of years with water. And a lot of the things we did just died, and some of the shrubs that were there just didn't make it, which is really typical of like over 3-year drought like this. So I contacted Mr. Moorhead and Mayor Moorhead, and what we want to do is present this proposal to you tonight. And what we have done was we put together this sheet of information, the why I just explained to you, and the vision pretty much I explained. And then comes next is the work involved, because it will be a combination of mostly the Garden Club, but some of the heavy work we're going to ask the DPW to do. And on your information, we have the DPW listed in red and the Garden Club listed in green. The Garden Club would take responsibility to remove all the existing perennials, which we have done already for the most part. And then the removal of those shrubs, which we've tagged, but we're going to actually tag more of them, would be with the help of the DPW, because those are so rooted in there, we just wouldn't be able to get them out. I think, attaching a winch and pulling them out would be the best thing. Then would be the area preparation, which would be to even out the soil, put new topsoil in, remulch it, and then replant. We might need some help with the DPW to get rid of some of that old mulch and soil as we even it out. We really can't tell until we actually remove all of the existing stuff that's there. And then the final thing would be to plant, and that's the Garden Club. So the most things that we would have to ask the town for is that initial removal of all the existing shrubbery, and then to possibly help us remove some of the old mulch and old soil that's there. I did include a timeline. What we would like to do is get this area prepared so that we can plant in the spring. So we're hoping by mid-November, if DPW isn't too busy, we could get that area cleared. And then first week in, Garden Club would take care of ordering all the mulch and everything. First week in December, we would go ahead and prepare the area and then plant in the spring. Because actually the planting in the spring would be better because we're not sure about any moisture in the ground at this point. We don't want to plant at this point and have a dry winter, and then we lose everything that we planted. Next on the outline is the cost. I did talk to Eric from DPW, and he said that you use Egan's a lot for your supplier of mulching. So I did call Egan's, and their price is $31 a yard, and we figured we need at the most 4 yards. And that would come up to about 124. Topsoil about 2 yards, adding another 84. The soil amendments, any fertilizer or manure that we would need, we could get at no charge from a club member. And then the next cost would be the center flowering shrub, which I priced out with Devin from Race Farm. We thought it would be best to go as local as we can. And she is wonderful. She is they're so generous to anything the town wants to do. They supply Gibbons Belay with all of the plants that we did there in front of it, and she gave basically a cost. So we really would like to support them if we can. So that flowering shrub would be about $200, and it would bring the total cost to about $560. If you go through your packet, you'll see the first page looks something like this. After the outline looks something like a slice of pepperoni pizza, and that's the basic outline, the layout that we thought would look the best. And then after that, you'll see a picture of a flowering shrub called witch hazel, and we really like the witch hazel. It's a native plant, and it also blooms very early in spring, blooms most of the season. In the fall, it's gorgeous, and in the winter, it still is absolutely beautiful. And it's a low, probably 6 feet at the most. It's a very manageable shrub. And then with the perennials, the Garden Club dug out the perennials that were there, and they're all in pots now to overwinter, and we can use, if they overwinter all right, we would use a lot of those perennials, so that would be no cost either. So, what I'd like to do is present that to you for your approval, and hopefully you will approve it, and we can get going. All right. Anybody have any questions?
Sounds awesome.
Great, I like to hear that. Good.
I just have a couple of concerns. Number one is that the DPW is going to be doing a couple of big projects.
Yeah, I was just talking about that.
Yeah.
So the time frame is sketchy. If for no other reason, this first week in November, we're going to be starting the septic system down at Walnut Valley Field.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, we're moving down to Jones Farm to tear down the rest of the barn. So probably the first week in December would probably be better, weather permitting. You're not going to be really breaking any ground or doing anything in there until the spring anyway, right?
We're not going to plant there.
Right.
But I think that would be okay. And I don't anticipate it's going to take, all they do is attach a winch and pull out about 8 shrubs.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not an all-day project. It's maybe an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we'll work it out.
Yeah. And so I understand there are time constraints, absolutely. But the closest we can do it before the end of the year, the sooner before the end of the year would be great.
Wouldn't it be better to do it in the springtime, though?
No, we really want to get that ground ready, because if we wait till the spring, then we're going to miss the best time to plant. So we really want to get the ground ready to plant.
You're stating you want to put even mulch down. Doesn't make sense to put mulch down in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The
destroyed
mulch.
by the springtime.
Yeah, but it'll-
Because I do it all the time.
It'll settle in.
It'll keep the dirt where it's
It'll
supposed
settle
to
in.
be.
It'll keep
The
everything
other
in place.
thing is, and I'm going to be the bad guy all the time, but we have a freeze on spending right now, for real good reasons.
Okay.
So, I can't commit to any funds, seriously.
Okay.
Not right now.
All right, with that said, I guess, would we be possibly able to present this for including the budget for next year?
Definitely.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't really be spending any money till the spring, correct?
Well, we need to talk on more.
Soil.
Yeah, we would need about, what did I say? Oh, about $200.
So that's the thing, as much as possible, if we would be able to move whatever portions of this to next year's budget would be a better circumstance.
If they only need $200, I can donate. I'll
Yeah,
donate
that's
that.
the thing. I mean, I'm wondering if we can source donations, because
Yeah.
I would donate too.
Yeah,
I'd cover the whole
Leave
thing,
that
actually.
short.
well, that's, I really appreciate that. And the,
I don't think you have to worry about the money.
okay, that's great, that's really good. And Joanne, to answer your question about doing it now instead of the spring, if we get in there and we actually turn that dirt and get that soil ready and mulched, it will be ready to be planted in. If we wait until the spring to do it, if we pull everything out now and wait till the spring, everything's gonna take over, it's gonna be a mess. Invasives and weeds just start, like, they know that it's there, there's ground there, let me put some seeds there. So it would be much better to get everything ready and then just plant right away. Okay.
So what we're actually talking about then is really $200
Yeah.
this year.
Well, I have no problem donating that, honestly. Just get the garden club information to Chris, and she'll send to me, and we'll send you guys a check. I don't have a problem with that. That's,
So, okay.
you know,
So I don't know for how finances, how you present bills. So if I purchase stuff, it should go through the town, right?
If I may talk to that. It's my understanding from even when you talked with Christine,
Yeah.
that we have accounts with them. So we have accounts with agents, we have accounts with Grace's Farm, so they would ultimately bill us for whatever it is that you're using. So I'm not sure how the donation would work going towards the township.
Yeah, so it's still,
I can buy the stuff directly, or,
Okay.
I mean, I'll make donations directly to some of my townships in the past for, you know, their senior citizen luncheons or what have you, so
Okay.
however you guys wanna do it, but
We'll work that out,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
work
cover
out the
it. Just let me know.
logistics, and I
Yeah.
will let you know.
Are you guys a
Try to figure it out.
501c3?
no,
Burn?
No.
Okay.
no, yeah.
Well, we'll
I'll
get through
look
the
Yeah, so
town.
I should use that as a tax bill.
Yeah, well, I don't, that doesn't really matter, I'm not very concerned, but I can send it to the town as well.
Okay, whatever, Kristen,
We'll
if
get it
you
covered.
just, I guess let me
I'll
know.
take care.
So it's a go?
It's-
It's a go?
Thank you.
If you're asking for a blessing, well, yeah, I think that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, I appreciate it.
I've noticed, it's looked pretty overgrown for a while,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty sad.
You were just out there, a month and a half ago, a whole bunch of you were out.
Pulling the
there.
perennials,
Like,
getting all the perennials out of there, yeah, because it looks better with them gone than with them there, it was a mess. Hopefully you'll be happy.
Right.
We'll take care of you with the funds.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Is there water out there?
No, which is a good question.
There was.
I did talk to Eric about possibly doing drip irrigation, but he said it would be out of the question, because he'd have to go under and
Yeah.
do, and then
And then gravity.
we thought, one season, he ran the hose from the building all the way up there, like around the parking lot and across the parking lot. But then he said it's not really practical because the hose gets run over all the time by cars, and it's probably not very safe to have a hose always there for somebody to trip over. So the garden club and Eric, I mean, we can talk and figure out something, even if the hose is there and one of us can drag it up.
We can work something out.
We'll figure something out, yeah. Because he does great. He and his group do one of the barrels on Main Street. And that was really fantastic that they started doing that.
So not to beat a dead horse, but I do have one other concern. When we were talking about when the state's gonna replace the bridge down there, we were talking about making the opening here wider.
Yeah.
Does that interfere with the triangle?
No, I don't think there's no talk of going near that. It's just widening the apron.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Dismiss.
Not going near our perennials.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. Our public comment portion of the program. Do we have any public comments tonight? We got enough people here. There should be someone that wants to talk.
I'm not as prepared as Michelle.
That's all right.
And the garden club is amazing for Blairstown.
Thank you.
Very nice. My name is Rita Gross. I live on 17 Anacostia Road in Blairstown, New Jersey. Okay, I more or less just had a question tonight about the town ordinances for property owners. I don't know how to explain this. Like I say, we have, if you have a neighbor whose property is just horrendous, I know we don't have a lot of developments in Blairstown or anything like that, but I was told by the zoning committee that, or the zoning office, that we do not have any ordinances for anything like that. But now, there might be some ordinances for homes that are not
There are
Yeah.
some.
kept up or,
We do have the grass ordinance, that you know. A lot of people know about that, the grass. You know, you can't have high grass, otherwise you can get fined. And,
but see, then they,
but if it's on a street like yours that nobody's really going by, it would really need somebody to come and notify the zoning officer, because he's not riding around the whole town looking for issues.
right.
But I think what you're referring to is the house itself, the condition of the house.
It's the whole property, which
Yeah.
is on Amacassin
So
Road,
there-
which was already a mess, of course.
There is an ordinance that I was told called unkept homes, unkept houses in our ordinance book. David mentioned that because I asked about that. Because I had one specific house that I asked him to check out. So I could send it to you if you want tomorrow, or I can ask Linda to send you, the
okay.
ordinances on them.
That would
The
be
grass
great.
is one that we've always known about and had.
There's
Right.
another one that I've seen him write violations on for excess junk and garbage in the yard itself.
By the house, there's a lot of garbage, and like I say, it's, the house sits back a bit, so I don't know how the one neighbor puts up with it, but everybody on Amacassin Road, the Kennedys and, other people, just get very upset, because everybody keeps their property nice. And, again, you have to go past this property to get to your home every day.
Right.
So, there was a big wedding up at one of the properties a couple of weeks ago, and it seemed right after that, suddenly there was a little bit of work done at this particular person's home. It actually improved it some. Of course, the grass is starting to die out now, but I mean, there are trees growing all over the place. People said they think he wants to just make it a forest. I don't know if that's allowed. Like I say, I'm more or less asking. I don't really know that much about it. But I just thought maybe by next June, if we find we do have an ordinance or some way of, doing something about it, instead of just letting this person decide whether they're in the mood or something. But he did clean up a little bit around the bottom garage. Was terrible. It's a bit better.
Any
Bit
garbage.
better, so I'm trying to be positive.
If there's any type of garbage out front like that, call the Warren County Health Department will come. Because I've
Wow.
called on different places on East Avenue, when I go by and see
Okay.
the disaster of garbage and that's been out there for a while.
Okay.
And
they
that's
do come.
true, they will come and they'll look for certain things. So like if you saw somebody that had an overgrown pool, standing water, attractive to vermin, things like that,
Things
the
like
Warren County
that.
Health Department will come out for that.
Right.
But it sounds like you're describing somebody who's just letting their lawn go.
Well,
completely
they
rogue and
purchased
trees
the
and-
property, and I don't think he can really, I don't know. He was supposed to bring in equipment, he told Linda, and things like that, but then that never happened, of course. But, I mean, I don't know, I'm surprised, like I say, it was never done all summer, even though it was around October 12th or 14th when he finally cut a little bit of the grass, now that it's not gonna grow much anymore at this time of year. I guess I should say, he did a little something. But it's been going on for years and years, not just a year or two. That's the problem, and other neighbors have come and tried to get something done too, so.
They live there full time?
I think they go back and forth. I don't know what their story is. I really don't, but anyway, thank you for listening. And so you may have some ordinances for certain things.
The one that David told me about, when I told him about one of the homes that I've seen recently, where the whole front porch, everything's falling down.
Yeah.
He said we have an ordinance called I think it's called unkept unkept homes or unkept properties.
Right.
Not properties, unkept homes. I think.
Unkept homes.
Yeah, where there's a
I'm
problem.
sure the home is unkept, but like I say, it's a little distance, I don't have to look right at it, unless I turn around or something. I don't think it helps with rats or anything. I mean, it's just, the whole place is just a mess. But like I said, he did make a slight improvement 2 weeks ago.
Maybe
So
a good
maybe,
idea to get everybody on the street to, sign a little note to them. Hi,
Well-
welcome to the neighborhood, could you please keep your place
I
nice?
did think of that too, I know, but like you say, he's been here 5 years already. And they did get after him when he first came, but then there was the dirt problem. Remember, you had the dirt problem with, so they wanted to wait for a bit with that. But anyway, okay, that's all I want to say. Welcome, Mr.
Reed, I'll send it to you
Wonderful
tomorrow.
having you on. Thank you.
Send it to you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Okay, sorry to take up your time.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Come on up.
Hi, I'm Joe Paskey. I didn't plan on being there tonight, but I was out with my dad and he wanted to come here, so here I am. And then I just thought about it. A while back, I work in mental health a lot. So a while back, I was dealing with NAMI, NAMI, National Association for the Mentally Ill of Warren County, and they had wanted to start up they have a once a month meeting for mental health consumers in Washington. But that's for the southern half of the county. And they wanted to have another meeting once a month, possibly up here in Blairstown, like a Saturday coffee crush meeting for people who wanted to meet and talk about mental health issues. So I looked into doing that at the Gibbons Delay Center because it's been refurbished now, and so it'll be a perfect spot to have a meeting. And when I looked into it, the NAMI Warren County has a shoestring budget, and I looked into the recreation department how much they would want to rent the space for once a month, one Saturday a month morning. And the cost proved just too exorbitant for NAMI and Warren County. I looked into the rates, and to me, it seemed like the rates that the recreation department wants to rent out that space at are just high to me. I can't quote you numbers right now because it's been so long since I looked into it, I can't quote you exact numbers, but they seem high. So there's no pressing issue right now on this matter, but I just would ask that the council would look into it and look into how much they want to charge out the new Gibbons place. Rotary spent a lot of money to refurbish that place. If it never gets used, that would be a shame. So just if someone could just look into it and discuss it amongst the council and see how much they want to charge out that space at, and see, is it exorbitant or am I off my rocker? And that's all. There's no pressing issue here, but if I just wanted I want to make known, and if someone could look into it, that'd be great.
Joe,
Go ahead.
you may want to check with the library. The library has many rooms now, the new library,
Okay, yeah.
that I believe you can
Yes.
use right over there.
Yeah.
I know they do, like teaching and stuff like that in different rooms, they allow all that kind of stuff,
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
It's beautiful there too.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but also I'm a member of the Rotary Club too. Rotary Club spent a lot of money to refurbish that. Give it away. If it never gets used, that would be a shame, I would think. It's a really nice space, so I don't know if anyone wants to look into it, but it's not really pressing, but I just want to bring it up.
The other good thing about it, and I was speaking with Karen about this, that we have the ability as a committee to waive any of those fees if a organization comes to us with a request for a monthly meeting. It's certainly something as good as that. We would be probably apt to do something about that.
I can let them know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the library, we spent $6 million on that, and we're paying for it as taxpayers. So it's a very nice space,
And it's free.
and it's free.
Okay.
Yeah. but Gibbons Belay, always you can always come to us if you have some sort of recurring use like that. We have the ability to waive the fees at our discretion.
All right, I'll take all this back to the lady who runs the annual. Okay, thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Anyone else? Lorraine, you should come on up. I always go to you last, Lorraine, because there's always, might be
Lorraine
something.
can go.
No, she has nothing, but.
Good evening, just all sit. My name is Sam Skakoza. I'm a resident on Union Brick Road. And I'm here to sing the praises and publicly express my appreciation to the Blairstown Police Department. And so I've already talked to Chief and some of the guys about this, but 2 months ago now, my son, I have a young son at home who's 2, injured his hand, cut it quite badly. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how the Blairstown Police responded and some of the follow-up they've allotted to me and my family. So that day, Chief Johnson, Detective Beach, and Officer Rizvani were there, were present, helped my wife quite greatly, helped my son, helped my 5-year-old daughter navigate this experience. They even took my dog for a walk in the backyard to get him out of the space for a bit. And they just were as wonderful as anybody could ask for them to be. They went above and beyond that day. Chief called me directly at work, brought me home, and then we did the handoff with the ambulance and made our way down to Blairstown Memorial. So that day they were wonderful, and they made a big difference in the life of my son and our family. But then the follow-up that they provided to us was really special. So the next day, Detective Beach and Officer Rizvani brought a couple toys up to the house for my young kids, which was very sweet, and it meant a lot, especially to my daughter who's 5. It meant a lot to us as well. As my daughter was kind of wondering about the role of police officers and what had happened, I brought her down to headquarters unannounced, where Chief Johnson and Detective Beach made time to answer some of her questions. And again, they were really great with her then. And they've all checked in on me every now and then, and when I bump into them in the town, they ask, how's everybody doing? So I just wanted to say thank you to them publicly. I wanted you all to know I think the world of them. I think they're doing a great job. They contribute to our community in a very meaningful way. I think they're all high people of character. They have great morals, and I think they're a great fit for our community, and I'm very appreciative for what they do every day, and especially what they did that day. So, thank
They
you
are
for,
community policing.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
are.
We're very lucky to be really the only town around with a police department. We have no other towns bordering us that have police departments, so.
Yeah, and I think they're the perfect fit
Yeah.
as a department, and I think individually I've gotten to know some of them. They're great in their own right. So I'm appreciative of what they do, and I just wanted to share that with you all.
We appreciate you sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, you got it.
All right, Lorraine, you got anything for us? I just have to ask.
Just about our event at Panther Valley.
Right.
That's all, the information will be going out this week.
So signups will start this week, people?
No, the publicity will be,
Okay,
but the sign up is Thursday, November 13th
okay,
here.
excellent. It'll fill up.
Yes.
It's usually a sold out event, right? Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, Lorraine, and thank you for all your hard work. No other public comments. We will move on to our department head reports for the month of September. Blairstown Fire Department Hose Company number 1, Police Department Tax Collector, Township Clerk, Vacant and Abandoned Properties. We'll touch on all of these reports as we move through our committee reports toward the end. We have a motion to accept the September department head reports.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. We've got minutes to approve for September 24th, 2025, our public session meeting minutes.
I have one correction.
Oh, crap.
Whatever did you find?
Sorry.
In my section there, you had mentioned at the very last page, line at the bottom, that we're using township trailers. That's actually going to be vendors of equipment that we.
So sorry.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Any other errors, omissions?
You know you're supposed to call her ahead of time.
Just noticed that.
No, hey, I love when people find mistakes. Do we have a motion to accept the September 24th minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you. We have a couple of ordinances to get off the table tonight. Public hearing and adoption for 2025-13, an ordinance to provide for improvements to Sycamore Park Recreation Area. I like that, Sycamore Park Recreation Area. Makes it sound vast. Within and for the Township of Blairstown, and to provide for the funding thereof. Mike, would you like to give us a little overview of that?
We're going to do 2 phases. First phase will be a walking path, which will be approximately a little more than half a mile. It's going to be outstanding for everybody. And the second phase will be 2 pickleball courts, 2 basketball courts. One is already there. And then a small area for our younger kids to shoot at baskets at 9 feet. It'll all be fenced in, done very professionally, and I'm excited to have that done. And it should be started end of November.
We're actually engineering it so the walking path is completely uphill. It's gonna be great. Both ways, just like going to school back in the day.
We'll have electric scooters at the bottom for rent.
Well, yeah, I think the walking path being the first thing that, yeah, we've been talking about walking paths for a very long time. We've had residents email us about walking paths, and this is going to really, I think, be a great addition to the Sycamore Park Recreation Area.
It's actually going to be 8 feet wide.
Wow, you could have
Some races.
absolutely, and some relay races.
Like that.
All right, well, this being our public hearing and adoption, we will open it up to the public now. Any comments or questions concerning 2025-13? Seeing none, we will make a motion to adopt.
I'd just like to add one more thing, Mr. Mayor.
Absolutely.
With those basketball courts and pickleball courts, they open up a tremendous amount of opportunities for our citizens to utilize. Not only pickup games, but we could end up having recreational leagues. We could end up, Sam, having the high school utilize that for their summer training. So there's a lot of really nice things that are going to come out of this. And it's going to be utilized a tremendous amount. So I'm really excited about that. And I'd like to make that motion, Mr. Mayor, to start off.
Make a motion for this ordinance.
Correct. So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. A roll call, please, Kristen.
Mrs. Lance,
No.
Mr. Loman,
Yes.
Mr. Sook,
Absolutely.
Deputy Mayor Van Valkenburg,
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead.
Yes. Second is 2025-14, public hearing and adoption of an ordinance to provide for improvements to the municipal salt shed within and for the Township of Blairstown, and to provide for the funding thereof. Our salt shed has it's been through a lot. It's been through a lot, and still does its job, but required a new roof. And this is really just to pay for that new roof to keep the salt dry. Open it up to the public. Do we have any comments or questions about our beautiful salt shed on Lambert Road?
It's 8,500 coming out of capital improvement.
Right. All right. Seeing no public comment, we have a motion to adopt 2025-14.
So moved.
Second? Can we have a roll call, Kristen?
Mrs. Lance,
Yes.
Mr. Loman,
Yes.
Mr. Sook,
Absolutely.
Deputy Mayor Van Valkenburg.
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead.
Yes. Next is an introduction. It's 2025-15. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 184 of the Code of the Township of Blairstown entitled Vehicles and Traffic. And
Yeah, Mayor,
This is about trailers, right?
Yeah, the chief of police said, Chief Johnson asked that I prepare this, and he actually had found some samples that he gave me, and yeah, we're basically trying to restrict parking on public rights of way for trailers, pods, or what have you, in the public rights of ways in residential zones, subject to some exceptions. Obviously, if you're paving your driveway or something that
If there's a dumpster that can be dropped off for X number of days, right?
we build in the appropriate exceptions, and I think you had commented on that. So the chief was happy with it, and I think it's, kind of makes sense. Gives them some authority to ticket that stuff if it happens.
Right.
Or at least tell them to move it.
Was that an issue, Captain?
Apparently,
Yeah.
it's been somewhat of an issue, because it was Chief Johnson who brought it to our attention.
And we literally have nothing to do, there's nothing we can do when it happens, so can't tell them to move it. All right, we have a motion to introduce 2025-15.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Good, there we go. Our consent agenda tonight, it is so small. It is only 2 items. Number 1, 2025-92, the cancellation and refund of taxes due to totally disabled veteran status, and 2025-93, approving payment of vouchers. I don't remember the last time we had a 2-item consent agenda.
It's almost not even a consent.
It's not, you barely need consent.
Barely. It was one less. I probably still have consent agenda.
Do we have any discussion on either 1 or 2? Okay, we get a motion to approve our October 22nd consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Kristen.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Loman?
Yes.
Mr. Silk?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Van Valkenburg?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes. We'll skip down to, can we skip down to new business? Since I see nothing under unfinished. You have anything to?
No.
Okay, because I know sometimes last minute things. So our facility use fees, folks have been going over these, and it's funny that we're talking about Gibbons Belay at this time, because a few of our fees certainly needed updating, because in many times there was like nothing, there was no fee, correct? And there are hours, in some cases, spent on facilitating the use of these facilities. And Karen had brought up a good point about one of them. Does anyone have anything specifically they want to discuss with any of these fees before we kind of dig in? Absolutely.
Okay, so it's very, very timely, Mr. Rapaski, that you came to discuss the use of the Gibbons Belay today. In general, when we start to look at the different facilities that the town has to be able to offer our residents to be able to use, we have different things. It's not about that the Rotary there's no dispute. The Rotary did a wonderful, wonderful job with that building, for sure. And it'll serve us for many, many years to come. The situation, though, is that we do have to pay to insure it and to heat it and to maintain it and to plow it. And we also do, when we talk about the insurance coverage of that, when we loan it to a group, we need to know that that group is using it responsibly. For example, I know a lot of people are disappointed that there's no alcohol allowed to be served in that building, but that's just the situation. We have to answer to our insurance professionals as well. And so what we really want is we want parks, I mean, they're there to be used, to be sure. However, when we start to look at other things, like some of the requests that come for special events, for example, we had a film crew in on Main Street not too long ago. There's a lot of administration and a lot of work to review, make sure that there's proper coverage involved, make sure that any special requests are properly documented. For example, closing off a street involves having police present to be able to do that properly. There are a lot of other considerations, and they do cost. So we can only charge what we are allowed to charge based on our ordinance. So Our township clerk and our CFO spent some time reviewing, and I don't know, Kristen, if you had anything you wanted to say at this point, but we looked at it with the eye of being respectful for the amount of time that it actually takes to go through, and a lot of back and forth between different department heads and other groups within the town to understand that there's nothing else going on in that place at that time. There's not an overlap, and that there's staffing available to do the things that are required. You just heard us discuss with the garden club as far as the availability of our DPW. We do have to keep in mind those types of things. So at any rate, even if we set numbers on this, as Mayor Moorhead so kindly said, we also have the opportunity to be able to waive those fees if it's a good enough reason, and we can vote on something like that. But we do need to be able to give our township staff guidance and the idea to be able to give some type of a matrix as far as what it should cost, and that reflects properly the use of the building, the facilities, the park, whatever. And that's really it.
Good job, Karen.
So there were a couple things that Karen pointed out that I kind of, the really high fees that we have on here is two very, well, high for us, which is the out-of-township production companies. And the out-of-township production companies, their use fee, which is $5,000 a day, that is what we're proposing. I kind of suggested that we may want to word that as up to $5,000 per day, because I think you'll have some, not everyone wants to close off Main Street. Someone may want to close off East Ave, which wouldn't have the impact on the town as closing off Main Street would. I don't know if,
I'm not sure that was per day, though. We didn't really discuss whether that was per day
Well,
or
it says-
per event.
it
It
says-
does say per day.
this per day here, yeah.
Per day.
Oh, I can get the, right, the new one. I'm looking at the one that we had.
Since all of these are kind of at our discretion, I kind of thought maybe if it's a smaller production and they're not going to close off a street, but they want to have, camera trucks, or they want to put tripods down, or dollies or something like that. Pretty much everywhere in New York City, you can't even put a tripod on the ground without getting fined for it. You have to have a permit.
Mr. Mayor, I completely understand and agree with you, but then there would have to be, what is that? Where would we draw the line on?
Maybe
So we would have to kind of expand on that.
right. So maybe a road closure is 5,000, but a smaller production would not require something.
We need to look at, and I'm gonna bring this up because I have my grandson who does filming and things, and he's gone to Belvedere and rented the court one time, things like that. Somebody like that, I don't think he'd charge $5,000 to if they were just, but when you have a company that came in like this one, that has a major backing.
It was NBC.
Yeah. I mean,
They had a lot of money, I know.
We charged them $1,000, I think. It was ridiculous when they were paying some of the owners of the homes over there major, 20,000, I heard, one individual got.
But like that Bollywood production we had wasn't really as high budget as NBC.
So we could take a look at that. I mean, that can,
So I just thought maybe putting up to 5,000 is,
you still have the application fee. Still-
right. Well, the application fee, I don't think anybody would really balk at that. It's just the $5,000 seemed a little. And I know exactly, how much work went into that production between DPW, police department, and this building, and your office, Kristen. So there was a lot of work there, and we did bend over backwards for them, which was nice because it made the town look great. But yeah, I do agree there should be some compensation on our end.
Should have left those signs up, 35 cents for chicken.
I was hoping they'd leave something in, because it really, downtown looked so cool. They were very, very period correct. right down to what was in the windows of the shops. They went by the original.
Great job.
Yeah, it was really neat. Okay, so
So they need approval to accept these, new rates, correct?
I would assume yes. That's,
Is this the ordinance? I
Well,
think it's
probably-
ordinance.
Yeah, we'll-
I think it has to go through the ordinance, so
Okay.
we'll work on that for
So-
next.
Yeah, so right now.
We'll have the ordinance for, if we introduce in November,
It'll be
we
good for
can get
December.
them before the end of the year. And then if you guys want to tweak the 5,000 or what have you, we can do it between first and second reading. One thing you could do maybe is tie it into how much time they're gonna take. And by the way, I mean, you don't really have to allocate the cost to the time spent. I mean, it can be a revenue source. I mean, that's what you mentioned New York City,
right.
they don't help at all.
No.
And they get a big check.
Right, you just,
So,
you get
you
a
know,
piece of paper.
We could have a graduated scale depending upon the size of the production or something. I'm sure, I'll look around and see if I can get some language like that. But we'll introduce it by ordinance next month, and then you guys can tweak it between first and second. I'll get to you before the meeting, so we can get.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Dog license fees.
Like finance.
Yeah, we had major discussions about this, and we would like to eliminate the, keep it at $15, I believe. it is.
50 for neutered
Right.
and 20 for non.
Right, and eliminate the senior deduction and the veteran deduction. Everybody pays $15. Straight $15 fee.
And 20.
And no shade towards veterans or seniors, we love them.
If they're not neutered.
Right?
Yeah.
The problem is, there's an accounting difficulty, there is, it is a fee for service, and we're in a circumstance where, budget-wise, we would like to be able to, at least approximately make enough money to cover for the ACO. It's a service that is required, it's a service that is needed, and again, nothing against anyone who has had them before, but in the whole scheme of things, to be in the same range as other towns that are near us, we are ridiculously low and unable to cover those costs.
What's the current senior discount?
It's 10.
They receive, for spayed and neutered, they are $6, and if they're not, it's $13. So it's almost a $10 difference, $9.
Is there any other discussion that you'd like to say? I don't own a dog, so I'm not the right one to ask.
I'm hesitant to take away a senior discount. If you want to raise the fees across the board, maybe seniors pay 10 for neutered and spayed, everyone else pays 15. It's raising the rate for the seniors, but it's only $4 and not $9. I know we have seniors living in this town that live check to check, and no offense to the veterans,
Yeah.
but
No, this is the recommendation that was made to us by
Yeah.
our,
Don't forget,
our staff who actually, work with it every day.
you don't have to pay to get your dog, the rabies shot either. We cover that. So that's another reason why, we want to raise, that we need to raise these rates a bit. I mean, if you went to the vet, forget it now, having a pet and going to a vet is more than it costs for us to go to the doctor. It's outrageous. We have 2 dogs at home. We don't have pet insurance. It's a big cost. But I think we really need to look at that. So, our fees have been extremely low compared to.
I think they've been in due for a raise for many years. I understand that many seniors, that's, their dog or their cat, whatever pet they have is some of the only companionship they have, and to give even a bit of a discount is still showing them that we're in their corner. So I'm not in favor of the flat rate across the board.
What would you suggest?
I'd say $10 for seniors, 15 for
Seniors
everyone
and
else.
what, seniors being 65?
65 and older.
If it's any, you're looking to compare, I know we have the same ACO in Franklin, and he does a great job, by the way, but we're about to raise ours from 15 to 25, which was what the original recommendation, I think, of the ACO was. So, and even then at 25, you're probably, you know, a little bit lower end of things for if you look at the municipalities across the state. So you could go 25 for regular people, which was, I think, the ACO's recommendation, and keep the seniors the same, and that's going to generate probably a little bit more revenue overall anyway. That's one other consideration. That's what one of your other municipalities is doing with the same ACO.
That's why the end of the series is where $25's not.
No, it's not gonna kill.
Well, it can, you don't know people with kids and stuff like that, it's not that
Also, as a
easy.
percentage of total,
Yeah.
so from 15 to
For
25.
it's just too much.
As a percentage of total.
So do 20 and 10 then.
I'm sorry, I think it would be 25 for non-neuter and 20 for spayed.
All right.
I think is that what you're saying?
That's what you're saying, that's what you're saying, okay.
So if you wanted to raise it in some respect with seniors, go to 10, over from 6 to 10, and go to 20 for regular. But a senior getting a 50% discount would show that we actually care.
So as respect to our professionals to raise it at all, but as also a percentage of total, that makes sense.
All right, so we're gonna go $20 for neutered and 25 for non-neutered. And then for seniors 65 and over, we're gonna eliminate the veteran. 65 and over, we will go for 10 and 15, 10 for neutered and 15 for non-neutered, okay?
I would be in favor of that.
Well, we have to do that by ordinance anyway, so
Right.
again,
No,
you'll see
this
that
is just
next.
discussion.
Joel, you had something?
They haven't changed it for you.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It says the average cost of a rabies shot is $40 to $75 at a vet.
That's right, and we provide that.
And we
We
provide
do
it
it
for
for
free.
Yeah.
So,
But most towns do have rabies clinics where there's nothing unusual about that.
Dog owner, wait a minute.
Bob?
Is this every year, or every 2 years, or every 3 years? How long is the license good?
Yearly.
so every year. Every year.
How many seniors own pets as to non-seniors?
I don't have
I
that.
have no idea.
It's a lot though.
We have a lot of dogs in the town.
How many seniors own dogs compared to non-seniors?
I don't have that report. And
I don't know if we would have that, I don't think. we
it
would
that would
have
take me
that.
a while to figure out.
If they don't pay their license, will they take their dog? What's gonna happen?
We put the senior in the kennel.
We're building one out back.
Tag on to the Thunder Valley.
We make
Actually,
it,
if they don't license their dog by the end of the month, they get charged each additional month until they do.
And it's a fairly sizable fine.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good with the 20 and 25 and 15, 10 and 15. I mean, I think that's a little low. I don't think our CFO is gonna be very happy with that one, but.
And we'll put it in paper and you guys can see it.
Yeah, we
If
can
you want to make a
discuss
final tweak, we can, we'll have the ordinance next month.
we've never tried to pay for the ACO through dog licensing.
Well, that's our problem.
But there are other things we use the dog licensing money for.
You know, we also don't like paying
The rabies
$450.
Exactly, it pays for the rabies clinic.
We don't like paying $500 to have a cat neutered either.
So we did have an increase in our dog licensing within the last 3 years. I
We
will
did.
say that. So we're going to be increasing again for those, for the non-seniors. We didn't raise it for the seniors the last time, and I mean, we're raising it, what, $2 or $3, so I'm just stating we have raised it. in the last 2 years.
All right.
It's not cheap to own a dog, you know,
It's
it
not
really isn't, it's not cheap at all.
Kevin, you'll have both of those ordinances, thank you.
Yep, yep.
All right.
Best practice.
Best practice. Looks like we scored very well.
Yeah, best practice is a form that our CFO has to answer on. The state bases our aid on different things that we have to meet and what we have to do. And it's a yes and no, depending on how we do it. And we scored very well, over 32 points. We scored a 38, so we have no aid being withheld.
That's awesome.
So I'll accept the report. You have to accept it, just, yeah.
We just have to acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it.
All right. Got it, read it. Any correspondence that's jumping out of this here, Kristen? There's 10 items. I just want to make sure we don't.
No. Most of them are from zone
Okay. And Tara,
and Terry.
who actually emailed to say she had nothing for us tonight. All right. From the township attorney.
The only thing I need to discuss, we're having a short executive on, just to update you guys on the SLA stuff. Beyond that, it's actually had a pretty quiet year, which is good. That's means you guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing. So unless anybody has any questions for me, I'll get those ordinances for you next week. I did make a couple notes. I am going to review our ordinances just to see if I think I should recommend a property maintenance ordinance update. Yours is a little outdated, as I recall, but I'll look at that and I'll speak with Dave Peel. So, not something we have to do before the end of the year, but certainly something if you guys are interested in, we can do maybe around next year. And I'm also going to check, I don't remember if we did the ordinance here, but I developed an ordinance as far as getting reimbursed, making it for at-large dogs, because some of those fees are really killing you guys down at the vets when they get picked up. And I developed an ordinance that makes, before they release the pet to the owner, they have to pay the charges that they're going to send to us, because statutorily they can only charge the owner, I think, $7 a day, and it doesn't cover anything. So I made a note. I don't know if we did that here. I've done it in a couple of other municipalities. Seems to be working pretty well. That was another ordinance.
We discussed it.
We
We
discussed
discussed it.
We discussed it.
Yeah, we discussed it,
Yeah, but I don't think we went forward with it. We'd like to go forward with
I
it.
will have, I'm gonna get that one for you next month. That's starting to work pretty well in some of my other municipalities. So we'll try to offset some of those costs, because you're right, some of those bills coming into the vets are for dogs running large are quite high.
Swear to get more money than the doctors.
So I'll get all that stuff for you for next month.
Thank you, Kevin. Kristen, you have anything for us?
No, sir.
All right. Committee member Lance.
Okay, so fire commission, I think I will leave that to you if you want to report on that. Let's see. Emergency management, we don't usually have anything to report on this, but I was approached to see whether or not I would consider teaching a community emergency response team class up in Stillwater, and I have agreed, as long as the fee for any Blairstown residents who want to go up to that would be waived. And what that is basically a train-the-trainer class, and we would be instructing people in the, I think it's we've done it as an 8-week class, we've done it as a two full-day class. Depends on what they want, but it's typically about 10 people being taught at the same time. We also would be doing refreshers for anybody who needs continuing education on it as well, and that is likely to happen in January. So that was the first thing there. The next thing is for Rescue Squad, I happened to see Bob Halberstadt in the room in case if he would like to say anything regarding that.
Good evening, Bob Halberstadt. I'm president of the Ambulance Corps. As you know, and many of you do know, we're strictly a volunteer organization, and we're not part of the town. We're a private ambulance corps. So we do not bill the town for anything. However, no happiness. We finance ourselves with what the insurance companies pay for their coverage, and we don't bill township residents for any out-of-pocket expenses. And I do have a breakdown of the calls. Warren County Communication Center, in the past 2 months, since I didn't give you anyone last year, but last month, We had 180 requests for service from Warren County. And considering this is an unmanned station, we answered 85% of those calls of that. Some were just RMAs, and we actually transported about 50 or 60 of them to the hospital for real emergencies. Some were just lift assist. Again, township residents pay nothing. If your insurance covers it, that's great. We don't come after you because you are residents of Blairstown. That's it, guys.
Do you have enough people now? I know at one point in time you didn't have.
We are surprisingly having a lot of new members, older members, who actually have some time to get to the squad, whether in the evening or the daytime, which is terrific. And some of we actually have 2 members actually stay in the building 5 or 6 hours a day to answer calls, and because of that, we've been able to answer 85% of the calls that Warren County sent us out on. Some of those calls were mutual aid for other townships. When we don't have a member or an ambulance available, mutual aid helps us out also. It's not part of that call line. And that is it.
What happens when there's nobody there to answer the phone, Bob?
What was that?
What happens when there's nobody there to answer the call? What happens?
We go mutual aid directly to our first due, which would be Milton Township, which is also considered St. Clair's, I believe. And if they're not available, if they're out of the call, we go to Independence. We haven't used Independence. We do cover like 200 square miles of territory in this area, including the way up on the trail. And we've been on the trail a lot, taking people out. But our fire department helps also. And so does Stillwater Fire and Local Fire. We have an amazing group of volunteers in this area who give up part of their day and part of their night to help everybody who needs help, including the ones who just wander through out of town, on the park. When it's daylight, they get stopped and they get lost. And we have to go find them. We can ping them with their phone, but it requires so much manpower. And fortunately, this is a great community, and we have it there. So, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Township.
You weren't here last month, and I think, didn't Tara mention that she's going after the state or something to get some money to help the ambulance corps going up into the mountains up here?
Yeah, I believe the State Park Service is taking more calls on their own, but they're there all the time, and they're a big help. They'll start first aid. When it comes to transport, it's down to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
You do.
So if I went chronologically with things that are already happened, the BEC Fall Festival happened, and we were happy to see Mayor Moorhead there officiating the bed races. It was a great time. There were a lot of people. There was a young lady who was injured. We were very happy that ambulance squad was there to be able to take care of her. She was fine. And another group won, and in fact, they donated the prize to her because they said, nope, we want you to have the trophy for this because you were so brave. I thought that was really beautiful.
We actually had 3 calls for service that day.
I believe you should.
Dehydration, and someone who was just weak, but fortunately we were there, we covered the whole event. It turned out very well.
But there was, it was great fun, and there were pumpkin painting, and there were a lot of fun things that happened there. Another meeting that we had was between the BEC and some of the Main Street businesses to try and gauge whether or not Jingle on Main would actually be on Main. The idea has been discussed to have it as Jingle in the Park instead of Jingle on Main, and that Jingle Eve would still be celebrated on Main Street in the same way that it has been in the past, but that Jingle on Main does not require to have the street shut down and puts them in a circumstance where they have a wider range of parking solutions, and there were some other things. It's still very preliminary and they're still discussing it, but those discussions are happening, and if anybody would like to weigh in on that, they can contact the BEC and be heard. Next thing is November 1st, something that hasn't happened it happened on 4th of July, but before that it hasn't happened for I think 6 years, which is tours of the basement of the mill on Main Street. On November 1st, there's tours at 1 and 3, and there's going to be different people there to answer questions and show photographs and give some interpretive information about it, and that's always a fun thing. I'm looking forward to that because I missed out on it on 4th of July. And then the last thing I have is the Rotary Halloween Parade is happening on Friday, October the 31st, and lineup is at 3:30 to register to be in the costume contest. Along with that, there are candy donations being accepted at the firehouse because there's a huge burden placed on our residents on East Ave, Main Street, and High Street, thank you. As far as that, and if you have candy donations, they can be dropped off at Blairstown Host Company number 1, and that's it.
Girl Scouts used to do it. They're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Oh.
Committee Member Loman, what do you got for us?
A couple things. We did crack seal Lambert Road, that is now done. And then as we talked about the septic system at Walnut Valley, we're still on track to start that in the first week in November. With the exception of, I think Eric said there may be a playoff game there that may delay it for 1 week. But he said, I asked him if it'd be possible to continue, but he said the area where they have to dig up is where they practice. So if they do have to go the extra game, that'll be a week delay, but it won't be a week. And then finally, I got the pricing for the out-of-state removal for the Jones Farm barn. That's going to save us roughly half of the cost that it would have been had we had to move it with containers like Sanico or one of the local companies. So with some significant savings there. That's it.
Awesome. Committee Member Sutton.
All right, recreation. 2 swings have been replaced at Sycamore and are being enjoyed each day. Fall recreation is in full swing and being enjoyed by all. Registration is still taking place for both late fall and winter recreational opportunities. A full description will be available on my action plan on the Township website. I'm proud to say, speaking of the youth football, our youth football field went from a dry dust bowl in August to a lush green field in which our kids are enjoying a nice season playing on it. In fact, our 9-10-year-olds had just qualified for the playoffs. This week, Saturday at 5, they start their home series against Peaburg with the rest of the division.
There's some handsome coaches at 8 o'clock if everybody wants to stay.
What's that?
There's some handsome coaches at 8 o'clock if everybody wants to stay for that game.
Will they be giving a clinic afterwards? Too?
If you want me to tell them to.
Absolutely. It's actually all the age groups are going. 8 o'clock is the last one, right? Our Sycamore Park project is ready to start. The walking path clearing will start in late November. As Eric said, Jones Farm demolition will start at the end of November as well. We're excited about getting that moving. Signs are being put up this week prohibiting driving on Sycamore Park fields. We're having a little problem with the dog park and parking by the baseball field. So Eric was kind enough to get some signs. They're going up. Joel, the doggy station on the green field is up and working. So those doggies will be taking care of their business appropriately. Joel McGreen has a signed contract for the Shear property to go into farmland preservation, and we'll be having the survey done shortly. I'd like to thank Joel for your hard work in safeguarding our town's rural character. I think that's really important. Would you like to say a couple things?
Just one. Mayor, did you sign that?
He has it. It's right.
I have it, Mike.
Pardon me?
They said that that's on?
I got it signed by,
The revision I did, they signed? Okay, good. I didn't know that. Okay, great.
I was gonna Kristen, if you would, could you do your magic where you copy that and it's on email and then I can send it
It's
to?
not magic, it's just called technology, Joel. Do you want me to show you how to do it?
It's what?
It's technology.
It's elfin magic.
Yeah,
It's a little pixie dust.
I didn't address that in my report, but Joel had basically taken the county's version of the contract and they made some revisions. It was circulated. Tony, I can't remember the last name, the attorney, they got the attorney, they reviewed it, they had some changes. So I went back in, made revisions, most of the revisions they requested, and cleaned it up a bit, because it's kind of a hybrid deal. It's going through our municipal pig, but the county's actually gonna hold the easement, which saves us money on annual inspections and stuff, I guess,
But they also do the county attorney does the title search and the closing.
Right, so it's a
So
savings.
once we kind of sign it, we're kind of out of the picture and hopefully get this thing done.
We appreciate you, Joel.
Thank you. Even Joanne?
Who was with you for 20 years? Who? I want to know who.
Maybe not the last two, but 20.
That's right. Last two. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I apologize.
I don't blame you. Speaking of preserving the municipality's rural character, I have a federal contact, Peter Coetzee, who helps townships like ours preserve our heritage. I would like to bring him in to speak to the committee and at one of our meetings in the winter. I'll be setting that up with everybody as we move along as to what resources he has access to offer us federally. I met him at Joel's open space meeting, and December 2nd will be our next meeting, correct? 7 p.m. Our township's master plan re-exam was finalized and voted on Monday at the Land Use Board meeting. After the public hearing, our planner, Mr. Jim Kyle, gave a detailed review to the public, and the plan received positive public comments. For a year, our planner, Jim Kyle, our chairman, Mike Rabatsky, and the entire Land Use Board worked very hard on coming up with an extensive plan that will help preserve and protect our township's rural character for years to come. A job well done, of which we are very proud of. Chairman Rabatsky, well done. I'm in the process of continuing to gather info and securing volunteers from our Rotary and American Legion on a Hometown Heroes banner program for our town. I've been in touch with the company who has streamlined the process, and I'll continue working forward with this. We also continue to gather business info to be put up on our township website. That is ongoing. And finally, Tom Farrell, Bureau Chief of Solid Waste for the DEP, was kind enough to give me some information, which I sent to Mayor Moorhead and to the Chief of Police, so we can keep track of who's licensed to be traveling with fill, soil, etc. through our town. And Chief of Police is passing that on to his commercial person, and Mayor Moorhead, I asked that you pass that on to your fellow mayors in Warren County so we can keep track of what's being hauled and dumped in our beautiful county. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mike. Deputy Mayor Van Valkenburg.
Mike, I think you better talk to David Deal about the banners before you go putting anything up, because they'll be finding you.
We'll be talking to everybody appropriately on that as well. It's in the planning stages, Joanne.
Our CFO, Christine Roloff, is consistently looking for ways to help us save money. Currently, she has a preliminary estimate to save approximately $100,000 on health insurance. We'll let you know what the actual savings are when it's finalized. But as you are aware, we received notice that the current plan was being increased $162,266 for 15 employees and $36,597 for 3 retirees. So this is really good what she's doing as far as checking other insurance companies. We completed a state aid impact calculation versus the CPI that was online from the state of New Jersey. And according to this calculation that I was able to fill in our numbers, we lost about $640,000 because we did not receive a major increases in our state aid. So maybe if we get a new governor, maybe we'll be able to get a little bit more in the state aid. We will definitely be holding a referendum election in April to increase our general budget above the current cap level. Specifics are currently unknown until we complete a budget for the new year. You have the proposed facility update fees to approve, and there was much time spent on receiving these applications, which is why that was brought up. Let's see, we talked about our best practices already. Senior citizens. Our holiday party sign-up info is out Thursday, November 13th, 1 to 2 at Town Hall here. The fee will be $15 for a terrific meal and great entertainment. The event is Thursday, December 11th from 12 to 3 at the Panther Valley Country Club. And every year we have an absolutely great time. I'm going to give you this. This is the current, Lorraine, this is the current flyer. The only thing, Kristen, I'm going to give this to you. Can you just like cross out Meister so you can't see it?
Has your address on it, Lorraine? Why is that?
And we'll make some copies so that you can put this
You
away.
want to see if I can read it? It's gonna look a little.
Yeah, you could try, but I don't know. I had to pay to buy the background, and then when I did, it came through Conroe or something like that. Canvas, whatever. Can you pass that, please? Thank you. But I think we're going to get a lot of people because a lot of people have been approaching us every place we go, right? I mean, I'm at the Acton, I have people coming up to me, when's the next event? They had such a good time at the last one that we're going to be doing these. We are planning future functions for next year. One thought, Karen, I know you couldn't make that meeting, was that we have an individual in town here, Nick Tyrone from AQE for Less, who does fixes computers and can help people out with learning on their computers. So I thought it might be a good idea in April for the senior citizens to have him come in, use our TV and show people how to run their computer. And when there's issues on their computer, what to look for. So I did talk to Nick, and he thought he'd be more than happy to come and do something like that for us. And we'll let everybody know after we work out all our events. A municipal court, as previously stated, we are remaining with a shared Frankfurt Court in Sussex County with a considerable savings per year of approximately $35,000 per year. I think we're going to have more than that based on the numbers that I've been seeing recently. I'll be attending, I don't know if you're going to go, you're going to come on November 7th. You don't have to, but there's a meeting on November 7th at 10 a.m. in the courtroom at the Frankfurt Court to meet our court administrator, ask any questions, and bring any thoughts up. So I did say I responded that I would go, no matter what. Okay, there was I want to bring this up because I want to ask Kristen if she can put this out there for the public also. I know if everybody got that tree removal permit letter that came out. I think this should be placed on the sign and on our website to inform the public of this new policy. And what it is, there's a state law and the municipalities have to comply that anybody that does any tree work in anybody's house, they have to be licensed, they have to be insured, they have to be registered with the New Jersey Board of Tree Experts and have at least one licensee. And failure to register will result in fines. Companies that are registered with the Board of Tree Experts must comply with safety standards, etc. So, and they have to have general liability insurance and workers' comp, which anybody who works at your house should have no matter what. So maybe we can put this up on our website too, and something on the because a lot of people have been cutting down a lot of trees and things, so, and that's in effect immediately.
That's from the ash problem, obviously.
Okay, let me see what else. I want to make just a comment, because I did read all the information on the land use, the re-examination report, and I know that you were meeting last night, and I really would have liked to have been there and make some comments myself as a resident, but I guess I was not permitted to do so. So I'm a little concerned, and in the past I did feel that 10-acre zoning would be appropriate. But after Walter and I went through all of the land that we had, remember doing that? And we decided that affordable housing was no longer necessary. I don't feel that I think 10-acre zoning is going to hurt us financially. We don't look like there aren't very many properties where there can be major developments going on. We don't have public water, we don't have public sewers here. And by increasing that acreage over 6 acres, you're going to have people going for farm assessment, which is going to just reduce their assessment and increase it for the rest of the people in the town. So it's something that I really want to think, everybody to think about a little bit. And we haven't had any issues with our 5-acre zoning here. The other thing is the Moms Club. The Moms Club doesn't exist anymore. One of the former members asked me about, they said that for 11 years now, that playground at Sycamore Park has been there and there has been no maintenance on it. So they were asking if they got some volunteers, which they're not sure if they can or not because the club doesn't exist anymore. Jamie Oakley is the one who was in charge of it previously, and she's the one who was asking about it. She says the playground's really looking bad, it really does need to be painted. I talked to her again, and she said if we provided the paint, she would get the people to do the job. I spoke to Pat, and Pat checked with our insurance company and said as long as there are no children there and they're all adults, we wouldn't have any issue as far as insurance is concerned with insuring them to actually do the painting. I do not know how much paint we would need. I have no clue whatsoever. But it's something that I think we want to consider because that playground was a lot of money. It's big, and we don't want it would be really a shame for anything to happen over there. And I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. I have a few things here. For Blairstown Host Company number 1, they had 32 total calls for service last month. 25 in Blairstown, 1 in Knowlton, and 6 in Hardwick. They did a search and rescue training in a smoke-filled second-story building. They trained in ladder placement and safety, working on and around them. And they added 1 new member to their ranks last month. As for our police department, Chief Johnson provided me with quite a bit tonight. On Tuesday, the 21st of October, the Blairstown Police and the Blairstown Ambulance Corps responded to an address on Kishpaw Road for a cat attacking an elderly couple. Upon arrival, the officer was able to attend the wounds of the couple and requested animal control. ACO Robbie responded and was able to capture the cat. The cat had signs of injury to its face from a wild animal and was sent to the State Health Department lab to be tested for rabies. The test results were expedited due to human contact and visible signs of injury to the cat from a wild animal. The cat did test positive for rabies. It was a feral cat. The couple had been feeding outside for the past several years. And ACO Robbie would like to remind folks that you have to be very mindful of feeding feral cats. You can't leave cat food out overnight or unattended because raccoons tend to be carriers and they mostly feed at night, and this will help avoid outside cats from coming in with them. The department completed the state-mandated defensive tactics training. Officer Dillon is a certified instructor and was able to complete the training in-house, and that saved some money. It's a really good thing. We'd also like to thank Officer Black of Mansfield Police, who helped teach our officers, as well as Lobo MMA for allowing us to use their building for the training. On the 20th of October, ACO Robbie rescued an injured bald eagle on Geisler Road. Officers assisted him in capturing the eagle, and it was transported to a raptor rescue. The Blairstown Police Department extends its deepest condolences to the Phillipsburg Police Department and the family and friends of Detective Sergeant Brett Marino, number 321. Detective Sergeant Marino's dedication, courage, and commitment to his community were an inspiration to all who knew him. His strength, spirit, both service and his personal battle will never be forgotten. Blairstown officers donated their time to assist Phillipsburg Police with guarding the funeral home, the home of Detective Sergeant Marino, as well as cover calls during the funeral and the viewing. And he sent me a few other things as the day went on here. I think I reminded him of things as we were speaking this afternoon. Yes, on the 10th of October. This is the only time we have our police blotter. We don't get this anymore. On the 10th, an officer observed a juvenile operating an e-bike in a reckless manner on State Highway 94 and Bridge Street. The officer was familiar with the individual, as the department has received numerous complaints about the juvenile operating the e-bike in a reckless manner, and they had previous conversations with the guardian and the juvenile about these issues. The officer conducted a motor vehicle stop on the e-bike and discovered the bike was classified as an off-road vehicle and it was illegal for it to be operated on the highway. The bike was impounded and several motor vehicle summonses were issued. So I know a lot of people had been talking about that very e-bike. And trick-or-treating on Main Street, the village area, will be closed to all traffic from approximately 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Halloween. As far as our water utility goes, we have a meeting coming up with the DEP next week, and that is to sit and talk about our recent letter we received for our WIPA process, as 3 emergent conditions were deemed non-emergent, yeah. And so we're going to talk to them with our engineering firm and our advisors, our financial advisors, to see what next steps would be. We have a preliminary meeting this Friday to kind of get ourselves ready for that. And with that, I have nothing else.
Mr. Mayor, speaking of water, and to address Ms. Van Valkenburg's concern about the 10 acres, Eric was part of this as well. Based on the need to protect groundwater quality and the long-standing desire to maintain the township's prevailing rural character, which is consistent with the TRC Raviv Associates study, which found that lot sizes from 8.9 acres to 11.4 acres was necessary to maintain the degradation standard of 1.0 milligrams per liter of nitrate concentration. And since the majority of our township has well water, we felt that was very important that we move that to 10 acres. But just wanted to address that, Joanne's concerns, and the reason why that was done, for information.
Pretty good.
Thanks, Commissioner. So Chairman and I were just about to come up and address that, but thanks for doing that.
No problem.
We do have an executive session that we are...
Just informational, I don't think we anticipate taking any action.
Right.
So we can adjourn the public meeting if you want.
Yeah, I have something to add to that as well tonight. So Any other questions, comments from the committee or from our audience tonight? Okay. Seeing none, we will have an executive session. 2594, authorizing executive session for contract negotiation. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.